Hey there, my fellow Cybertronians. This is a Ginger Transformer podcast with your host, Mega Ginge. Welcome back. We're now up to comic 6, 7, 8, I don't know. These things go on forever. All I do know is we are now talking Legacy of Unicron. Oh yes, Marvel UK Comics, one of my personal favourites. Mainly for the fact, yes, Unicron. But it's not like normal Unicron. It's like his head. His head. He's still able to do a lot of bad shit just with a head. The first couple comics is Headhunt. Once again, I don't know why they don't just put all this into one big. I mean they do. They do for most of Legacy of Unicron this time. But we've got Headhunt, issues 133, 134, Ladies' Night 137, 138. Legacy of Unicron is 146 to 151. It's not too bad. And Enemy Action 152 to 153. None of this really involves Galvatron for once. The last two do, but it's not directly tied into Unicron himself. So yeah. Anyway, we'll get right into it. Headhunt. We have Death's Head taking up a bounty by the Decepticons to hunt down Rodimus Prime, leader of the Autobots. He's not too against this, in fact, he just cost him like 10,000 shanks, whatever you call it, and Fallen Angel. He offered him the bounty. He was going to do his job. He kind of screwed him over, because Death's Head also returned to the future when they were all forcibly removed. So he's happy to take the bounty and goes after Rodimus Prime, an Autobase no less. Dispatches his troops and has Prime dead to rights as he's reminiscing about the past. Get head out your ass, Rodimus. Prime gets a lucky break. They fall through some old wreckage, all some old debris. Death's Head's still right there, so he still gets back up, puts the gun in the back of Rodimus' head, and he's like, nothing personal, it's just business. To it, he is unfortunately stopped from putting I don't know if his ability's gone, it's just a laser blaster, but he's basically stopped from blowing Rodimus Prime's head off by Cyclonus and Scourge, who wanted revenge for what he did to them in the last comic. And to be fair, he did beat the piss out of them. I'd want revenge too, I'm not gonna lie. But if they just waited a couple of seconds, it ended Rodimus Prime. Because let's face it, they don't like taking orders from Shockwave, who's the Decepticon leader. But they don't really have a choice because he is the Decepticon leader. Galvatron's nowhere to be seen. He's content to stay in Earth's past. But Cyclonus and Scourge thinking was, if they bring the head of Prime back, they'll have no choice but to say, right, they're the Decepticon leaders now, and oust Shockwave. While they're having this debate though, Rodimus Prime has got up and buggered off. But he is hurt, so he's not got far. He keeps moving, he keeps going, he gets away. And he ends up circling back accidentally to where Death's Head was shot. Death's Head's not there. Cyclonus and Scourge failed to double check that he was definitely dead and just ran after Prime. They're wandering about, they're looking for him, they're looking for Prime. When Death's Head shows up and goes, yeah, you really should just double tap, he's a screw to interfere with my bounty. They screw. Death's Head's chasing him. Rodimus is walking the other way, walking kind of hurt, and they practically just go, hey, there's Prime, we can get him now. Saw them! We're getting chased by Death's Head! And they run over Optimus Rodimus Prime, who's sitting going, what the fuck? And Death's Head's chasing them. So Rodimus is like, oh, not this again, but he notices something. And I missed this the first time I read the comic. He noticed something that makes him go, right, I'm still in the fight. Lobs a shield back at Death's Head. Death's Head shield is really just returning it violently. And Rodimus makes a run for it up this it looks like human sewer grate, so I'm assuming Cybertron humans look like sewers. And he dives up. Death's Head follows him. Once again, it's not a personal thing. He's not following him just blindly for the kill. It's just it's his contract. He's good to kill him. But it's really in the contact. And he pokes his head up through this manhole, and there's like 10 guns all pointed at his head. The thing Prime had saw was a marker that leads you to Autobase if you had it lost. So he knew where he was going. And he's like, yeah, good. Death's Head's like, maybe we just call this one quits. And Prime goes, no. Death's Head can't just look. So he's like, no. Here's the money in advance, all yours. Take care of Cyclonus and Scourge for me. And Death's Head's like, yeah, this bit of business will be a pleasure, actually. Thank you. And off he goes. And that basically leads us into Ladies' Night. Yes, I know, right? What connection does this have to anything else going on? It does, kinda. So let me continue. Ladies' Night, we have the return of Cindy, who we first see in Burning Sky. Joy Meadows returns, the reporter from Dinobot Hunt, and introduces Susan Hoffman, who's a female archaeologist and has just made the big discovery of he has an entombed Magnus and an entombed Galvatron. That's how it connects. So she finds them. Cindy sees it, goes, Magnus, I need help, and goes to him. And you've got Joy Meadows, who's there covering stuff anyway. Of course, unfortunately, not only have humans seen this, so have Autobots and Decepticons. The Decepticons under Shockwave's command have been ordered, blow it up. Galvatron's as much a threat to us as the Autobots. Blow it up. Once again, he's just trying to save his own ass. The Autobots, they see, there's Magnus. We have to save him. Mainly Goldbug, because he's probably feeling a bit guilty. I would too. I'm kidding, I would. But he does. So he's like, right, Throttlebots, let's roll. Yeah, he's got his own team now, Throttlebots. Hasbro, we want Throttlebots. Give us Throttlebots. I just had to be added in there because, I'm someone who wants the Throttlebots to be redone, and I have banged on about that as well for quite some time. And so they all go to this mountain with Soundwave and the Combaticons ready to blow up the mountain and take Galvatron. Goldbug and the Throttlebots hear this. Blaster's with him too, by the way. I keep forgetting because he's in his cassette mode inside Goldbug, I forget about him. But he's like, yeah, listen, if they can destroy Galvatron, he's the bigger threat. If he's unleashed again, Magnus' sacrifice means sod all. They say this to the ladies and then they leave. So what do the ladies do? We're going to ignore the giant robot death machines that actually know what they're talking about, and we'll take on the Combaticons. So yeah, one of them actually had tank training for some sort of news report. I think it was Joy Meadows. So she drives the tank up to Swindle and nice. Down goes Swindle. But they can't do that with all the Combaticons. They'll get slaughtered. So they take all the explosives off of Swindle, put them in a jeep, and we go back to Soundwave is sitting going, right, now we can blow up the mountain. Sorted. We all here? No, Swindle, no. I was like, he's not back yet. Can we go look for him? He's like, sure. Make it quick. I want to get this done. So they find Swindle. He's got a hole in his chest. He's, a tank. And the lady's thinking, we're really smart. They've got a jeep, a military jeep, full of the explosives Swindle had. Then they've basically just put one of those wee wedges at the front wheel. They move the wedge, it goes thundering towards the Combaticons, who sit and go, it's not a human vehicle walking it, it's full of explosives. Boom. And they go flying, and you know what? Very fucking impressive. Unfortunately, Onslaught's still active. He gets a hold of the humans and he's like, use our deed. Because you got one of the humans, the gun going, let go of her, I'll shoot you in the face. Onslaught's laughing, and he stops and puts her down, and she's like, really? Turns out the Throttlebots had a change of heart. And they are behind them going, you've got the guns drawn, going, let her fucking go. At this point, yeah, the mountain's still surrounded with explosives. Soundwave can still detonate them unless you somehow jam the signal. Oh wait, where's Blaster been all this time? He's playing soft jazz. He's blocking the signal. Soundwave can't do so at all. They're not blowing up nothing. Goldbug is like, you know what? That was very dangerous. You shouldn't have done that. You should have listened to us. But at the same time, that was mighty resourceful. You did well. And that's pretty good for some mere. And I think it's Joy Meadows that goes, oh what? Mere women? Is that what you're trying to say? Women can't do this shit? And he goes, no, mere humans. I don't give a toss about your fucking gender. Anyway, we go on to the Legacy of Unicron. This is the main one. This is the enchilada of this whole fucking thing. Because it basically starts off with Deathshead fulfilling his contract by hunting down Cyclones and Scourge. He's hunting him down, it's over the planet of junk. He's got him dead to rights. And a Junkion appears and goes, please help, there's someone here who's enslaved my race. I need help. So he's like, oh, if you know about the Junkions, you know they were the richest traders in the galaxy. Name your price. Please help us. That does it for Deathshead, who then says to Cyclones and Scourge, you'll help me and the bounty's cancelled. So they agree. So they go in, they start attacking whoever this aggressor is, and Deathshead jumps down with a gun ready, explodes. But then they're enthralled. Their minds are no longer their own. They're kind of done. The wee Junkion that asked them to help, he was blown to pieces. And it turns out, yeah, in this reality, the head of Unicron did not just start orbiting Cybertron. He got blown off into deep space and landed on junk. He's enthralled the entire Junkion race to build him a new body. I would have happily watched in cartoon form. So now he has Cyclones, Scourge and Death's Head as his little puppets as well. It basically skips from that straight into, here, I've completed my contract, Cyclones and Scourge are dead. They kind of fucked with another contract for Rodimus Prime, so I'll still be wanting my Shanks, Shockwave. And he's like, not a problem. Just to make sure they're dead though, you know? He's like, yeah, I'm not stupid, I don't miss. He's like, yeah, well, we'll see. Shockwave's been monitoring the thing, and he's reading all their minds, including that of the still obviously alive Cyclones and Scourge. It's an ambush set up by Unicron to kill Shockwave. And Shockwave, he's not stupid. He's like gunning them all down, and eventually he takes off. And he obviously, he's baiting Death's Head to follow him, which he does. Cyclonus and Scourge have to hold the fort and just hope Menasor doesn't punch the door down in time to tear him to pieces before his part of the plan's complete. Now, Unicron's still in Death's Head's mind. He's impairing his ability to fight. Still doesn't stop him though. He eventually does kill Shockwave. He blasts him again. Then he blasts his head and he takes his brain out and he crushes his fucking brain in his hand. But then he goes in and he's, Menasor's already kicked the door in. The Slanticons, Soundwave, and a few others have Cyclonus and Scourge dead to rights when they are now declared the leaders of the Decepticons by Death's Head. Soundwave goes, yeah, what's to stop me just killing all you? The thing I brought them in is laced with explosives. Soundwave doesn't want to risk his life. All hail Cyclonus and Scourge. During all this, Retgar is being taken home by Inferno and Smokescreen on an Autobot shuttle. He's been there, he's helped. He helped defend against Unicron, and he helped them with everything that happened in the Fallen Angel saga. It's time for me to attend to his own people. They've went to junk. Now they've found out, shit, Unicron. But as they're retreating back to the shuttle, Inferno's shot, so he's damaged badly. Retgar tells Smokescreen to grab him and fucking go, he'll hold him off. So he ends up having to kill one of his own people, and he's like, nope, Unicron, you're on my list. Next comic in that one is the Decepticons launching a holo attack. The Autobots have no choice but to counter, which Rodimus Prime finds weird because a logical being like Shockwave would realise that if they do this, there's going to be very few Transformers left to inhabit Cybertron because they'll all be fucking dead. They were in a deadlock for God knows how long at this point. So Smokescreen is trying to get back to Cybertron and he flies into the middle of a war zone and he can't fight, he's piloting. Inferno's getting repaired. There's no one else to help him. That's why you should send 3 people if you're taking someone home. Right, an extra person just in case. But Inferno ends up getting up, arms the guns, starts shooting and blasting because Cyclonus and Scourge have been warned by Unicron. Yeah, they're on their way back. Destroy that shuttle. They can't know. They can't know I'm here. So they do. They ace them. They destroy it. They take the shuttle down. It crashes. But Inferno, he grabs Smokescreen, chucks him out the window, and to save his life. And Inferno goes out with a blaze of glory. So in this one, in the past couple of comics, we've lost Future Shockwave and we've lost Future Inferno. So he survives. He lets Rodimus know absolutely everything that's going on. So Rodimus, the Dinobots, Smokescreen, Scattershot, and a few others are going to junk to take on Unicron. At this point, Death's Head's back on junk, wondering why Unicron's building a time portal. And he's like, yeah, I'm just going to build it, put my hand through it, grab Galvatron and bring him back. Which I don't think would have worked because that would kind of, the whole mass displacement thing. I mean, Skids wouldn't be returned. It would just be like Galvatron wouldn't be in the past anymore. But he just went to tie up loose ends. Good for him. Unfortunately, the Autobots are now on their way. Death's Head, as you know at this point, has been testing Unicron. As in testing his fucking patience. Like every 2 seconds, it's like, yeah, I'll shoot you. Still invulnerable? Okay, punishment. Yeah, okay, but each time he does it, he gets a little bit stronger and a little bit stronger, And eventually he tests him as well. Like, blows something up, he's like, fuck you, Unicron! So Unicron starts punishing him, but uses that mental link to actually enter the mind of Unicron, which is a feat at this point, because no one's been able to do that. It impresses Unicron to the point where, yes, he is going to die when he goes back into his physical form, but he then tells him the origin, like Unicron's origin story. Now, this has to be noted here. They had no idea that Marvel UK was going to bring in their own origin for Unicron, hence an origin for Primus as well. They had no idea they were going to do it. The UK writers just did it. But they liked it, and they went with it. Now, obviously, Unicron's origin in the cartoon is very divergent to this. It's completely different. But he ends up telling them the story, yes, it was me and it was Primus and the birth of the universe. We were knocking the shit out of each other. He tricked us into going to different asteroids, and I built my body up, and he decided to take a fucking planet. Who knows why? I wanted a body again. And at this point, Death says, like, okay, cool. And I still don't like you. Yeah, it turns out, you're a being from pre-time, from another universe, well, from the same universe destroyed, then when the new universe was created with the Big Bang, you were still there. Story time is interrupted, however, because the Autobots eventually reach junk. Rodimus sends the Dinobots out. This is a tactical error. He sends the Dinobots out to fight the Junkie on shore, and Thrall have no choice but to fight against the Autobots. But the Dinobots don't hold back. They're killing everyone. So Rodimus is now full of self-doubt. Death's Head approaches and have been evicted from Unicron's mind, saying, listen, I can help, but you're going to have to trust me. At this point, Cyclonus and Scourge are being summoned back as well, because I need all hands on deck. Get your asses back here. And the war continues in Cybertron. The big battle itself doesn't. Soundwave says they're leaving, we're leaving. Death's Head and uses his mental link with Unicron because he pisses him off again, and he tortures him again. He sends Prime into Unicron's mind, like his astral version, and him and Unicron lay into each other. When I say they, I mean Unicron really spanks his ass, but he's eventually pulled out at the last second because Cyclonus and Scourge have arrived, and Redguard's happened to set up a fuck ton of explosives underneath, and everyone just seems to all just happen at once. Cyclonus and Scourge arrive, the time portal's activated, so Death's Head says, "Kill you another time, yes," and fucks him through the portal. Unicron explodes because of all the stuff that Redguard put underneath. Redguard didn't die, by the way. He got out of there. He's good. And Death's Head helped him out. Unicron explodes, the head is destroyed, the essence of Unicron is held into the Matrix now. End of threat, at least for a time. But that's the end of the legacy of Unicron. Now, it should be noted that at this point, Cyclonus and Scourge were thrown back into the past, as Unicron intended to go get Galvatron, and they end up working for Scorponok. It's where they get the Target Master partners. As for Death's Head, that is the last time in Transformers comics that we see him. Now, people might just assume that he died, but Death's Head had a load of comics himself, his own series, so obviously he survived. Maybe it was like a prequel series, I don't know. But I like to think he survived. I like to think those comics were what happened after that. Maybe he was just lost to another dimension, to a time zone elsewhere, I don't know. But he was a good character, I liked him, yes. It ties up some things, doesn't tie up other things. Like, no one knew what happened to Death's Head at that point. And so at that point, people expected me to just turn up at some point again. Doesn't happen, which was a shame. I like the character, Enemy Action Parts 1 and 2. Now, these are basically a continuation from Ladies' Night, where at the end of it, you see Galvatron moving slightly. By the time Enemy Action happens, he has broken free of his Tomb of Lava, and he's heading for the Decepticon underwater base because, he wants leadership, Or at least that's what Shockwave thinks. Meanwhile, the Sparklebots, Fizzle, Guzzle, and Sizzle, have freed Magnus from the lava, and they're like, right, we need your help. And he's like, no. So they go off themselves. You see him getting unburied in another comic, by the way, just to let you know that. You don't see him getting unburied in this one. But Fizzle, Guzzle, and Sizzle at this point then follow Galvatron to a beach where he's obviously walked underwater towards the Decepticon base, which point they run into the Firecons. Meanwhile, under the sea, this also introduces us to the Seacons, because they are there to fortify the underwater defences for the Decepticon base. They also form the Combiner Piranacon, by the way. And Shockwave says, Galvatron's coming this way. Do I try to talk to him, or do I just send a Combiner out and pray it fucking stops him? He goes with the latter, which fails big time. Galvatron, they all attack him individually, then they can attack him as Piranacon himself, and Galvatron still beats him. He then tears open the hull of the base and then says to the Decepticons, listen, I was coming here to offer alliance. He wasn't, but now your leader has made an enemy of me. Blame Shockwave. In Badahams, it's all on him. And he leaves, knowing exactly what he's doing. He was never wanting to join them. He was wanting Shockwave's troops to turn on him. And yes, from the looks of these people, all that kind of, the fuck did you just do? It's obvious to Shockwave, yes, I've been played. Meanwhile, on the surface, the Sparklebots haven't done well against Firecons. They've got their asses kicked. Galvatron finds one of them, who is now under the sea, kind of deactivated, and he kind of comes up and goes, "That's yours." Throws it away. One of the Sparklebots goes up to him and says, "You're Galvatron. We're here to stop you. Blah blah blah. We can't let you." He just goes, knocks him out. Then the Firecons come up and say, "We're from Cybertron. Our masters there would like to see you at your earliest convenience." He's like, "No, I just dodged an alliance. I don't want another one." And he leaves them, the remaining Firecons and Sparklebots all just kind of looking at each other like, what do we do now? And that's basically how it ends. The Shockwave going, I need an agent, I need an expendable agent. So this is like an epilogue kind of bit at the end of it. It's like, I need an expendable agent. Someone that I don't give a toss about, can match his firepower. And then he clicks on the computer and it pops like a nice little picture of Megatron, who at this point is missing. He wants to find Megatron and set him against Galvatron. Ambitious, considering the fact that if Galvatron kills Megatron, he'll cease to exist. Time travel! So anyway, yeah, the next comic I'll be reading up on is Space Pirates, which is another one that's set in the future of the Transformers universe at this point. I think it's like 2007, 2008 or something at this point. But Space Pirates is another favourite of mine because it introduces the Quintessons and the comic continuity at this point who haven't been in it. So until then, until next time, roll out, stay safe, and I'll see you later.